So we got a great event in store for you guys today. I think you already understand that. You know, one thing I can sense right from the get-go is this is a group of people that has some serious enthusiasm, energy, and excitement. I've sensed that already. Is that true? Over that wall right there is a room full of financial services people. They are really mad that we have microphones and music. They already came over. So, the count of three, we gotta just be really, really ridiculously loud. And then when they come over next time, hand them a magazine. 1, 2, 3. Well, guys, you know, this next part is very special because you guys get a chance for the very first time, unless you've been south of the border, to get a chance to meet the management team and all the founders together. I know some of you as leaders have come down. You've come down to our regional director retreat. I know some of you have been to the last national convention. How many of you guys were down in Atlanta? Let me hear you if you're down in Atlanta. You guys all plan on going to Cincinnati that same day? Yeah. Well, for the rest of you, make sure you make plans to go to Cincinnati as well. But, you know, if you haven't had a chance to meet this group, they're a very, very special group. And I want to start first by bringing up my partners and kind of give you guys a backstory. You know, I got involved in this industry at 18. My top producer is this first gentleman that I'm going to introduce. I met him when I was 21 and he was 19. He just turned 30. Which makes now officially all the founders over 30 are now old. So no one can say that the founders are in their 20s anymore. So we're all over 30 now as of last week. And so I met him when he was 19, and he's the consummate overachiever. You know, anybody know someone that no matter what they do, it doesn't matter what it is, they do it better than anybody else? Right? That is this individual. He graduated from a top 6 university in the U.S. in 3 years, double major, magna cum laude, all while hitting the top position of a network marketing company and being a top 5 producer in that company at the exact same time. Right? To give you guys a reference point, I didn't graduate community college. Lorna let me pass up in 3 years' time. And I had to stop community college so I could hit the top position of a network marketing company because I couldn't do both at the exact same time, let alone at the level that he did. And, you know, he graduated pretty long. The greatest thing was he never actually even had to get that law, to put that law degree to play, because by the time he was 21, he was in a financial position where he didn't need to go get a job or didn't need to go to get to law school because he became a successful entrepreneur. Together, we kept building that company diligently until we were, I was 26 and he was 24, and the company, it went out of business. It was originally a long-distance phone service company, and I don't know if any of you guys noticed that there's not a lot of margins in free. So free doesn't pay out a lot. So, you know, the rates had went from 20 cents a minute to free. So the company, it tried to make adjustments. It didn't work out. And him and I were left with a phone call, which was, hey, bad news, company's going out of business. And we looked at each other, and the only decision that we could make was to buy the assets of the company because we were not willing to call our 3,000 active distributors and tell them, hey guys, bad news, no checks coming on Monday. And we made that decision. And we sacrificed all of our personal incomes to do that. There's probably a 1,000 things we could have done, but only one thing that we were willing to do, and that was to make sure that our people were taken care of. And without him, we never, ever, ever would have got that company off the ground. It didn't matter what division of the company it was, we would send him in to fix it before we had our management team in place. Whether it was the accounting side, or whether it was the customer service side, or whether it was making tools, while he was doing presentations, it didn't matter, because he's the consummate overachiever. Please stay on your feet. Give lots of love for co-founder, Mr. Blake Mallen. It's interesting because typically in a Canadian presentation it's a lot lower energy than it can be in other places, but you guys have been bringing it today. Can you make it all the way to 6 o'clock with that energy? The next individual that I want to introduce you guys so you can hear from the two of them. Once we got the company, I guess, moving in a direction, it was abundantly clear that that direction would not continue without professional management, without a CEO to come in and do their job so we could do what we were good at. And Blake's actually top 5 producers out of an area called Ventura County, California, all worked at the same job for the same person. And we just kind of thought it was, just, I don't know, what do you call it, not unique, but coincidence. Wow, why is everybody in our group up there going to work at this same company? Must be coincidence. Turns out we found out later that this gentleman, after hiring the first one, found out that these people were very well trained, they had great attitudes, and they could sell very well. So he started asking them, is there any more like you? And before we knew it, it's backwards, right? Normally it's network marketers recruiting from a traditional corporation. Well, he was a traditional corporation recruiting out of a network marketing organization. He later went on to say, and I quote, I was able to sell my company for $25 million at age 27 thanks to Nick and Blake's training, and I haven't met them yet. So we have known of this guy, but we had not met this guy, and our leaders were telling us about him and him about us, etc. And he had sold his company, and very successful financially. Was rated, number 13, I think, top 40 CEO under the age of 40, West Coast based, and was looking for what do I do with my next, venture? Where do I go next? And fortunately for us, one of the things that was primary, two of the things that were primary in his mind, number one was he was in the middle of a crusade of personal development and personal growth for himself. And number two, he's in the middle of losing 65 pounds. Wow. So we met him at that exact, he doesn't look like that in the magazine, does he? So, he was in the middle of his own health transformation and personal growth and personal development transformation. His passions aligned with our passions. His work ethic aligned with our work ethic. His values aligned with our values. Yet he brought a much different skill set to the table. The ability to put together a professional management team, the ability to bring investors to the table, and without him, we wouldn't have made it out of that first year. And please do me a favor, stand on your feet and welcome co-founder, Mr. Blair.